Hello everyone. The last session we discussed about how to create a sample report, a classical report. Okay, like we take an example of classical report 7 we created yesterday. So what we did there was we created one local structure in our program. Okay, we created one internal table. We gave a screen, like we created one screen also. Then we used select query to fetch the data based on this selection screen, and we give one constant as well to the select query. If we try to give one message also, and then later on we printed it to uh, the table format or this output screen. Okay, but yesterday we did not see how we can give the coloring, how we can give the spaces, and why do we require those things. Okay, that we'll see now, and we'll talk about the event as well once we are done. So I'll continue with the same program so that it's easy to go through it. So why do we need spaces and where do we need spaces? How we can give the spaces? Okay. So yesterday we gave directly this table fields and we printed over here. Okay. Now if we want to give header as well, so how we can give header here is if we are going to give the header inside the loop. Okay, then what will happen, it will print the headers every time we are seeing this table. Okay, so to avoid this, what we'll do, we'll give the headers at the first itself. Okay, so we'll give a write statement over here, as we see yesterday. We'll give a chain operator. Okay, and we'll give the field name over here. Okay, so let me copy the field names for these things. So we'll go to sc11. Okay, we'll go to Mara table display, and I don't want to use those data elements, so directly I'll take the description which is available here, and I'll take till memtart, so which we have used in the last program. Okay, now I'll go to sc38, go in change mode. Now here directly we will paste it in the right statement. Okay, and let's client is not required, so how we'll give them, we'll give single quotes. Within single quotes we have to give this test because it is not containing any value and we are directly posting whatever we have. Okay, so these I'm posting one by one. Comma, we have to give commas as well. Comma, then I'll come to the next line, make it with in format so that it's easy to understand. Or we can truncate the name as well. Okay, so if required we will truncate the name so that it fits with the screen. Okay, it's very big names we are getting. Okay, so now we have okay, this is one of the extra field which we can delete. Two commas are not required, so let's count the fields. So yesterday we have taken 9 fields, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So 9 headers should be there, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Yeah, so let's save it and activate it. So if I'll run this report now, then see it is coming in this way, right? And it's not easily identifiable that which field it is, because these headers are coming on the next screen also because of the spacing issue. So what we do is we give small names first. Okay, wherever possible. Okay, so how we can do that? So material number, name of the person who created the object. Okay, so I'll just give this changed by. Okay, so it's easy to identify. Okay, then date of last change, so last changed. Okay, we'll give like that so that we can save some space here. So let's see how much space we have saved. Okay, still there is long list to go. Name of the person who have changed the object, so here we again give this changed by. Okay, Maintenance status of complete material. So we'll just give material maintenance status. I think it is coming two times. Okay, no problem. We just took the field. I have not seen what's the data is there. Okay, flag material for deletion of client location. So I'll just say flag material for client deletion. Okay, this much we can take and rest we can delete. And material tab. Let's see how much space we have saved by deleting these extra characters. Okay, it all coming in single line. Okay, now we can see these are all coming in the single lines. If it is not, then we have to move a cursor actually. Okay, that thing we can do. So now material number is coming here, created date is coming here, but you can see it should start from here, right? It is not coming indent. It's not in indent actually. And how it's coming is because once this is completed, after one space the next field is coming, after one spaces the next field is coming. So accordingly we'll have to maintain these spaces. Okay, so how we can do this? Okay, so let's count this number actually, how much number we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, from 17 it is getting started. Okay, but I guess it start with 19. So let's try to give one number with 19 first. Okay. Hmm. So I'll what we can do, we can give space over here. Okay, and I can say it should start with 19. Okay, let's try. Okay, still one space is left. I think I counted wrongly. So I'll give 20. See, now it is coming with indent to the data which we have, right? And accordingly, the change by also coming properly, and last change, this is not coming properly. Okay, with the data which we have. So what we have to do is we have to again move the content to the right side. So how much content? 1, 2, 3. So likewise we have to count. Okay, the thing like it can be 25, 30, 35. Let's see, last change. I'll give 30. Let's see how much where it goes. Okay, it came here actually. So no, 35. Still it is there. Okay, let's not give it here first, because see, whenever you are doing this kind of settings in the ALB report, you should start with the first letter itself, so that always it will come in the same place actually. Okay, then how we can do is I'll just remove this flag mask, flag deletion flag I can write, so that it's coming in the same line. Okay, let's see that. Okay, now it's all coming in single line, so this is coming properly. Okay, so what I'll do now, I'll give from the starting itself. How we can give from the starting? That I'll go back, and this is fine. This I'll give as 19 or 20. Okay, and the value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'll give 30 for this and 30 for this. Let's see if it's working. Changed by, no, they got mixed actually. So let's give, sorry, my bad. You have to give outside. It should look like number. I'll give 35 here. So both the headers and the value should come in the same line. Okay, so it is coming properly. I think changed by is not coming properly. Let's see why. Because we got one extra space here. If I'll see now, let's see. See, now it came in indent mode. The header and the foot data, the header, the data, the header, the data. But again, if you see here, again it is not behaving properly. So we have to slide it a little bit. So let's try to do that. Last change is I'll try with 40 if it is coming properly or not. No, it moved to left side, so I'll give 14.8. Otherwise, we'll have to count one by one all the characters like where it goes. Okay, now it got fit properly. See, so the same we can give for the data which is coming down. Okay, 48, so that both should not move. Okay, both will come in the same column. Okay. Likewise, we can give for all the columns, and everything will come in the same list actually in the output screen. If you want to see this, it will come on same places actually. Okay, so that's how we can indent these things. Like most of the things are coming properly with the data, but when the length of such header is more, then it is slightly moving to right side, so that we can control like that. Okay. Okay, now one thing here, we can how to give the color. See, we can give the different colors for the different fields. Okay, how we can provide the colors for the different field, and so that it looks a bit clear, or we want to highlight some fields that this is red color, this is yellow color, likewise. So that also possible in classical report. It does not have much of used nowadays, but still there might be some scenario you might see like you are performing some transaction, you just want only single screen, you don't want to give any ELB after that, okay, we have done this activity, this is your output. Okay, likewise we can do in classical reports. Okay, so how we can give color is that once this numbering is done and the field name is done, after that before the comma we have to tell the color. Okay, so let's try first with the material number. Okay, we have color denoted with numbers, so that you can Google which color belongs to which number actually. And so I am giving a color 7. Okay, this I have used long ways. Like let's see which color comes when I trigger this. See, it is highlighted with this color. If you want to highlight the whole row, then what you can do, whole column, then you can directly give the same color over here, and it will all the rows, all the values of the material number will be highlighted with same color. See, likewise, and you can see why we are getting the spaces, because this material number was 18 character, or yeah, in ECC it's 18 characters, so it is coming like that. Okay, if you want to give some other color for, let's suppose, changed by, and change by you want to give as a red color. Okay, so we can try with I think color 5. Let's see which color comes here. Yeah, uh, it's color screen. We'll try with some other number. It's yellow. So every time we have to activate the code when we are doing this changing. I'm doing it with the shortcut control F3, so it's very fast. Like we don't have to scroll to this button again and again, and try to use a shortcut for the faster programming. Okay, so likewise we can give the color. We have multiple colors available in SAP, so that we can give, and I can give the same color for this E and NAM also, so that it will be highlighted with different color. Okay, if I just execute it. Okay, I gave to the wrong. Okay, I gave to the wrong. So I'll just X and we'll give here. Yeah, it's all colored with this one. So accordingly, we can give the color part as well in uh, classical reports. Okay, if you want to give the colorful heading also, that's also possible. That can also be done. Okay, so let's move how we can give the heading. Okay, so yesterday I was talking about the events which we have been given by the SAP that can be utilized for our specific need, like when we have to use which event. So I'll be going one by one all those event. Okay, so first I'll go with the heading, like how to put the heading on top and footer of the pages. Okay, so for that we have events called top of the page and end of the page. Okay, and where we have to do is we it is always we do it after the programs, like after the query which we are writing, then only we do this part actually. Okay, so I'll just go back and I'll just come here and we'll call the top of page event here. Okay, so either we can write the same query over here, or we can utilize some perform or subroutine. So that we'll see in future, that how to create the include or subroutine. Currently we will just go with normal programming. Directly we'll write the code. Okay, so just give me a moment, guys. Yeah, so what we'll do first, we'll write some kind of what we call some line like a report. What is this report contains actually? Okay, so I'll just say that it contains the material information, the report. Okay, and we can give the color as well. Okay, color I'll give 30, or I'll give 5 6 6, we have not used. Okay, I can give that. And then we have one keyword called uline. Okay, sci uline, or write like uline also we can use. Why do we use uline? uh, that is useful to give the underline, like we gave this underline, right, like that. So we have system variable available for that, so we can use the right. And then psi u line. Okay, so I'll give the psi. If I'll press space u line. Okay, so likewise we can give the u line part also. So I'll just give as psi u line. Okay, let's see what it does actually. Okay, okay, we got some error. Let's see what it is. The syntax right uline psi uline is invalid. The correct syntax is right and uline at psi uline. Okay, so we'll just remove this. Let's see what happens. Let's execute and execute. Okay, see, when we have not given that event, okay, I'll just remove that so that it will be more of clear how the screen looks like after and before. Okay, so execute it, and let's see. See here, one line is coming. This is a standard heading which we write like when we create the program, right? So that time we give the standard attribute, like why this you have written it. So first classical report for demo, so we gave this one, right? So the same is coming here when the output is coming, first classical report for demo. So this can also be override if I'm giving this top of page event. Okay, so at all the pages it will come on the top and it will be visible here. Okay, now both are coming. Okay, now you want to remove this line, okay, or you want to keep this line, it's fine. If you want to remove this line, what you can do here is you can go to this program and go to the top. Okay, and we have one keyword called no standard page heading. Okay, so that it will not take any standard page. So how we can give is we have to go with report and then space no standard page heading. Okay, and let's see what it does. Execute and execute. See, that heading is not coming now. So that based on the business requirement, if you want to do that, it's possible. If you don't want to do that, that is also possible in classical report. Okay, so we just have to keep a remind of the words which we have in the keywords which we have. Okay, so and it comes handy when like you are doing a lot of work, then it comes in practice and then we can do it. Okay, we can do one more thing. If you are seeing this thing here, it is coming on top. If you want to move it to the right, how we can do it? We can do it with the for spacing or formatting. Like we have given the spaces for these characters, right? 30, 40, 50. So we can give for that also. So how I'll give? I'll give some 30 or 35 character later on. It should print this top of page. Okay. If I just click on F8 and execute, see it is coming somewhere in the center. Okay, if you want to move a little more, you just increase the number over there and it will come in the middle of this part. Okay, similar way we can create the footer also. Okay, so how we can create? So we'll give this end of page. So I told you there are two events which we have. One is start of page, one is end of page. Okay, it triggers the same thing in the footer also. If you want to print this thing in the footer, just copy and paste And what we'll do first, copy and paste the line here also, so that after the data a line should come. I'll comment this for now. Let's see how the output comes so that it's easy for you to see. Execute and F8. Okay, it's not coming. Okay, why it is not coming? Can someone tell me?
I think it will come at the bottom.
Okay, I'll go to the last page. Okay, so this is our last page. Still it is not coming. uh, any idea, anyone? No? Yes, anything?
Due to more number of records.
No, that cannot be the reason. Okay, let's see that. So why it is not coming here? Let's see with the U line first. It should not be the problem. Okay. For this, do we have to do any settings over here? Mm, just give me a moment, guys. I think it should. We are missing some setting for this. Yeah, so we saw why this footer was not coming because we have not given the page line size on the page, and we always need to mention the line size. Then only it will be displayed at the footer. Otherwise, it will flow to the next page, and we will not be able to see that. Okay. Now we are breaking it into multiple pages, and it will be visual. Accordingly, we can give to 30 or 25. We can give so that it will have more number of lines. Yes, like with, or we can use some 2 or 3 line more. 27 will be enough so that we don't see the next page. Okay, still one page is okay. Now it's fine, I guess. Yeah. So these one lines, it is appearing here, and then footer will be available. So that's how we can give the end of the page and start of the page to display our header and footer. So top of the page is event is for footer header, and end of the page is for footer line. We can give some more lines if you want to give, and we can give stars also if you want to print that. So those kind of things we can do over here to decorate the reports based on the requirement. Okay. So uh, these are the two events which we have. Now we have another event. Okay, I'll just note down the events here. Okay, so that's clear. We have covered events. The first one is we have covered is top of page. Second one we covered end of page. Third we'll cover now the initialization. Okay. Okay. So what is the initialization event we have in our sheet? Okay, in our classical report, even it is there in the interactive reports. So see, when we are just saving, okay, we save this program, and when we are trying to execute this, before showing this screen to us in the system, that event will trigger. That screen will not show, and that event will trigger first. Once that event triggers, then only this screen will be visible to us. Okay. So when should we write this event? We should write this event on the top itself somewhere before our select query. So that's the reason I gave yesterday this initialization event. So we can just define that. Okay, this is our initialization event. Okay, so what kind of thing you can write in the initialization? Okay, so basically we've tried to fill the values mostly, that okay, this should be the value, like material number it is there, right? So what I can do, I can just fill some values like as underscore Meitner, and then we have low high option that I can fill. So let's see that first. Okay, so I'll just give low option, and we have another thing. Okay, we have to close it. We'll give all in this one shot sign. low, then high also will give. Okay, so now that's how we fill the value of this selection field. And I told you yesterday that we treat this as an internal table, so accordingly we have to fill the values to make it like a range. Okay, or we can remove this high part also, we can give only the low, or we can remove the low also, we can give the high. So that's how we can give these things. Okay, so what do we fill in option? Okay, so if I'll just click on that part, okay, just give me a moment. If I'll go to select options, how to read the data for this, so that also we can do. How we can go to this F1 help is, we can click, check this button over here, like we can select the keyword or click on F1. Once we click on that, we get the example or the notes or any description which we required for any keyword, like how to use it in a system. If you are not sure, if you don't want to do the Google directly, you can come to F1 help, and here you can able to see this information over in this screen itself. Okay, and no need to go to the Google. So here I just want to see how we can fill these select options values. Okay, so let's see here, display extension, it is showing what all things we can use with the select options. Okay, and then it's showing value options. Okay, so it is saying lower match code, memory ID, all those things is coming. Signs, object, okay, match code object we can use, and default values. See, so here it is showing if you want to fill this option here, okay, for this one, then what you have to give is either you have to give a value range till here to here, and option equal to NV, and sign I. Okay, so these options are like, we have uh, is equal to I guess sign I. Guys, correct me if I'm doing something wrong. Okay, I think I am missing this thing. We fill options and sign. Just give me a second. Because I have not worked for the range for a long time, so that's the reason. Low, high, between. Okay, in options we tell them that okay, it was correct only. Okay, so in options what we tell them that this thing, okay, I'll show you an example also how it looks like. Then I'll just close it and I'll give one UIs from 100 to I need 1 to 100 all the values. Okay, let's see, and we have to give append as maintainer. Let's check if any error, no error, save it, activate it, and let's execute. See, automatically the values got filled over here. Okay, so that kind of work, if you want to, if I'll put a debugger over here, okay, we have to put over here and then put a debugger. See, if I'll just execute first part, it will come over here only. I think you might be missing the screen. I'll have to reshare it because the new window got open. Yes, allow. See, it first came here, okay, and then only it will go for other things. So we have been done this as maintainer. If I click on the desktop part, see, earlier it was blank, okay, and it contains only I is equal to, okay, F5, F5. See, now it is filled. Now it will not go inside the select. It will not select, okay. It will give the error because we have not given anything. Now F8. So we have to stop that there itself. Okay, if you are using the initialization statement, we have to tell them, okay, now we are going to use the start of selection. Okay, start of selection, then only it should go to this part. Okay, so we have two events called start of selection and end of selection. When do we use it mostly to when we are fetching the data from the DB. Okay, so we tell the program explicitly that that's this block of code we are fetching the data, and we can write multiple select queries inside that start and end of selection. So
Hello.
let's, yes,
Excuse me.
Mr. Yes.
Just look here. We couldn't be able to see the screen.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Okay. Just give me a second. Okay, is it visible now? I'll just remove
Yes,
this.
now it's visible.
Okay,
Thank you.
so here once we done the initialization, if you're using initialize part, we have to tell the program that now where our code is going to start the selection part or the DB hit or the select query which we are writing. Otherwise it will go to the next line also, because it will not able to understand whether the statement is over or not, or anything else code is written or not. So that's the reason it will come to this point also. I will try to execute this part of code also. Okay, if this is coming in between, then it will stop here and only, and it will not go to this part. Okay, and start of selection and one thing is end of selection. Okay, so these are the sequence. Okay, when to use which events. Okay, initializations can be used first. Before that we have one more thing called load of program. Okay, okay, that's automatically gets generated. Okay, and then initialization come, and then start of selection comes. Then before the initialization and after that we have some more event that we'll be seeing. Okay, like at selection screen input, at selection screen output, or at selection screen value field, all those things we'll see one by one. Okay, now let's check it. Activate it, it's activated. And okay, I have to remove this end of selection. I have to put, so it says okay, this is the block where we are writing our query and it should execute accordingly. Okay, now if I'll execute again, and it will go to the debugger. Let me share the screen to you. Next time debugger, see it stopped here with S maintainer. It will try to fill this S maintainer select option, and it came out. See, it did not move further. If I just press F7, 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 it is not going to that code which we have written over there, start of section, and it came directly on the screen. If I execute now, okay, so I did not put any debugger over there. Okay, let me put a debugger here as well so that it's easy to understand. So what I did is I just came out of that report. Okay, I came out of the debugger. Now I'm putting one debugger here so that we'll be able to understand where it is flowing. Okay, so now I'll just execute normally. Okay, a debugger will open first. So to see the debugger, I have to see sharing my screen. Yeah, so this is open. Now if I just press F5, okay, F5, 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 and if I'll go, it has gone to the standard code or the screens which we have. And then if I'll put F7, it will come to the main screen again. Okay, it will come to the main screen and it will wait for the input from the user. Okay, so if I just execute, okay, now it automatically it has filled the value 1 to 1000. Okay, so that's how we can do. Now if I'll execute this button, right, this is the execute button. If I'll execute, then only it will go to a report, and if I'll press F5, and it has gone directly to the start of selection. It will not go to any other event. So that's how the event works in the reports. Okay, now if I'll execute, okay, we got some data. That's the reason size of RC value is 0. We can see the size of RC value over here also. And what we got, total 5 record we have got somehow 1 to 100 and 1000, sorry, and execute. See, 1 to 1000 records got displayed over here. So that's how these events works actually. Okay, now we have covered start of selection, end of selection, and initialization as well. So I'll note down those things. And at the last, I'll tell you the sequence, like how we should use it. Start of selection. But I'll copy so that it's easy. Yeah, so these are the event which we have used. Okay, now I'll just save it and go on top. Okay, so these events, top up page, end of page, initialization. See, I have one more example for initialization where we can use it. So what happens for some reports? Okay, for some kind of reports when we have a date field, okay, available in our system. So if I'll just create one date field over here, which I can use ERSD, I can use. Okay, so if I'll give, okay, okay, parameters p underscore ERSTA. Okay, type ERSTA and then end it. Okay, I'll not give the label now for time being. So just easy to understand. For the example, I'm taking this one. Execute it. Okay, if you'll see this, we got this field over here, but this is not filled. Okay, so what happens sometime when we are running this report in the background, or in the sometime the user wants some kind of a range that when I execute this report I should get 1 or 2 hour of data. Okay, hour basis or day basis or something like that. So that also possible. So what we can do over here, okay, uh, we can give a dates, okay, in the initialization tab also. So how we can give here, just give me a second. I have put it down. Yeah. So what we can do here, I'll just take this as a select options only, so it's easy to see. I'll give as s underscore for, this is a field of Mara, so we have to give a relationship and save it and check it. Okay, there's no error. Now what we can do here is that in initialization only I want to give the -1 hour. Okay, how I can give is I'll just better copy, let's not copy, I'll just take s underscore ERSDA. Okay, then um, options, okay, equals to, we will tell that you should always check the equal part, and the operator copy, then we'll take the next sign, equal to, this is always I, and like included. Okay, we can use the excluded or all those things also. And this ERSTA I'll say low. Okay, now how we can calculate time over here? Okay, either we can give directly the time here, like if I want to give side datum, it should fill the side datum thing. Okay, so if I just not give it this high thing directly, I can append. There is no requirement to give high variable also. Just save it and check. Now if I just execute, see the date is automatically filled. Okay, accordingly we can do with the time also. So these are the normal thing. The same we can give here also, like if you want to give signed the value signed item, but it's a bit difficult when we are doing the background processing. We can give the default here as well. If you want to give signed item, it will automatically take, there's no need to do this part. Okay, so this is just example the how the initialization work. Even if I give a side item over here, it will take here. If I just execute, it has taken that value. But when we are doing this background reporting, like we want to calculate 1 hour or back or 2 hour back or 3 days back, all those things we can do in the initialization only, and accordingly we can pass the parameter in the select query. Okay, whatever we get in the system. So this is what we have from the initialization, and there are a lot many things we can do. We can do check also if you want to check some things, so that also possible. Okay, in the system. So we have covered this initialization as well. Now we'll go with one more event. So we have one more event called value request for, or better I'll take other event called at selection screen. Okay, Add selection screen. Okay, what is this add selection screen? Okay, so when this event triggered is that when the user, okay, they enter any data on the screen fields, like if I just execute this field, okay, and they enter some data, like I'll just remove this part now for initialization because it's automatically filling the values. Okay, let user fill the values. I'll just put it in this comment. Okay, so when they fill the data, okay, and execute it, okay, still one field is there because we have given default over here. Let's comment it and come again. So now it's all empty. Okay, now we have two fields over here. Okay, and when the user fills, like if I'll fill one here and date I'll fill like 04.09.20, I'll fill 9999. Okay, so if you'll see, want to see this, that this state is not correct, this state has never occurred, or something cannot be planned for this state. Like some example, like if I'll say that just write your name over here in the field. Okay, and some people writing numbers on that. Okay, so that is not the correct. So to make such kind of validation properly, like you have not given the proper name or you have not given the date correctly, or all those validation, so we can use that event. Okay, at selection screen event works for a whole screen, like in whole screen, if we have multiple fields available like 1 2 3 4 5, likewise all field we can do the validation for whole screen. Okay, and we have one more field which one more event, so that directly work with at a time. Okay, at a time is like for single field single time. So if I'll just copy number 7. Okay, so at selection screen, and then we have keyword called on, and here we give the field name. So if I want to use this one, like how we can use this, we have to use it here after the initialization. So if I just want to give at selection screen, no, at selection screen, and then see it has come automatically, like where do you want to write your code. So if you want to write on output, you want to write on block, like we created this block, right? We created this block, so you want to write some kind of event for this kind of block, or you want to write directly on the field. So I'll say on, and then I can give the field name, like I want to validate this field only as Metner. Okay, so I can give this field. So it will check only one field value for the whole screen. If I am not giving for any other screen, it will not come to this block of code. Like if I'll just say, I'll write a message so that you will be able to understand. Okay, so if I give here message, you are under S Metner, and type I. See, it will execute only once we execute this or enter it. Okay, let's execute. I'll just remove this debuggers. Okay, okay, remove this. Okay, why are not going? Okay, let's save it, activate it, and let's execute this. Okay, if I press enter, see this automatically came. You are under as matter. I did not press any execute button. If I'll execute also, it came. So every time it will come. Okay, we got in debugger F5, and then started checking this thing. So what happens, we can write some logic that if this value is not correct, it should not go beyond the program limit. So what we can do is we can do that exit. Okay, either we can do the exit. Okay, this is not correct, just go out of the program. Okay, or leave screen if I want to do. If I click on this, see, okay, it has shown. I'll say leave screen 0. I think this we use. Let's see. Yeah, see, it has not gone to the further steps. So this kind of logic we can write for this one. Now, if I just remove this thing, okay, let's see what happens. Nothing. If you're not giving any statement or anything, it will not execute. Okay. If I want to write for this one, then I can separately write for this field also. How I can write? I can just copy this. Okay. Take this part, and what's the field here we have? We have field called SERSTA. So we can write the add selection screen off to the next one also. And I said that let's see. Okay. And which one trigger first? So that we'll see one by one. UR underscore S underscore ERSTA. Okay, let's save it and activate it. Okay, now if I just simply execute and press enter, see it came under first in underscore S maintainer. Okay, if I just click on OK, nothing happened. It stopped over there only. It has not gone to the next field. If I execute now, you are under S maintainer. Okay, because we have given exit here, so it is not going to the further messages. If I'll just X here and give here, okay, it's already there, then no need. And if I want to go inside, because it has not checked the second field, because we have given that okay, you just leave the screen if it is there. Execute. If I press enter, first one came as a S maintainer, then the second one will also come. So one by one it will check for all the fields. What we can do over here is, if I'm giving this number, what you can do is you can just put select. Okay, select single from Mara. I want to validate this field. Okay, select single from Mara into. Okay, this is some new syntax I'm telling you. LB to data. I'm not having much of practice with these new syntaxes, but still I have learned that. And where maintainer in S maintainer. Okay, and if size awards means if the record got fetched or the query got run successfully. Okay, if size awards equals to 0, we can say okay, message that material exists, else you can write a message. Okay, we have to give a type as well, that what kind of type it is, and copy it, and then we will paste it. Okay, we have different kind of messages also that we'll see in upcoming classes. Okay, material does not exist. Save it and activate it. Okay, so okay, what's the error here? Let's see. Session 2 is a valid. Okay, let's create one local variable. Okay, data will be type. Okay, it has to go to into table, right? Okay, this is the correct syntax. Okay, at selection screen, did we give any error here? No. Why we are getting this red over here? Home delete. Okay, save it. Check. Okay, still into is invalid here. Select single star. Field table is unknown. And this is at the rate. So this is the new syntax I'm using for the sake that we don't have to create any internal table, local internal table. I'll give LT Mara one because it should not take the other data. Okay, if the record exists, then only it should flow, otherwise it should give the error. Okay, if I just execute, and if I want to give number 89 which we were seeing yesterday, it was existing, right? If I just click on that, material exists. Okay, if I give a number called 123.2, okay, I think this should not exist, and we got an error, material does not exist. So that's how we can validate our fields, okay, the data, and accordingly we can write a logic. Or what you can do is that, okay, if it is not exist, then just exit from the program itself. So what we say, leave screen, that's all, and it will not move further if you are giving any wrong material. So these kind of validation we can put. See, it is not going to the rest of the programs. So that's how we can use these events to write our logic in the classical reports. Okay, and this is, I told you that this can be utilized. Okay, this can be utilized for whole screen field at a single shot. Like if you want to validate multiple fields, okay, like this is for one by one we have to write add selection screen on field value. Likewise, okay, this we have written one, and then we have written two. So but for that, what we can do is add selection screen, that's all. This is more than enough, and then we can write all our logic at the same thing. Okay, and then we can write all these logics, one and then two and other four five, so no need to mention one by one. It will check all the settings or things that at selection screen also. We can do some other operations as well that we'll see in the next section. So any doubt over here to anyone? I'll stop the recording, you can ask all your questions.